I come out here probably 5 times a week.
Will Washington couldn't wait to move to Beach Drive in West Seattle about 3.5 years ago.
And the reason why I live here is because of nature and the ability to go out and kind of get away.
So when he found out last month that surveillance cameras were going in just down the street from him, he was more than upset.
The overall right to privacy is my biggest concern.
Seattle police are installing nearly 30 cameras that can turn almost 360 degrees, but they haven't been turned on yet. The cameras were paid for through a Homeland Security grant, and they're around the Ballard Bridge, the main Seattle waterfront, and even out by Will's home near Alki Point.
This is a very safe neighborhood, and we're unaware of any threat.
Will doesn't want cameras looking into his home or anyone else's, especially if they're run by the government.
We want them taken down.
And the fact that the police department installed these cameras without talking to him or any of his neighbors is a big problem too.
Here they go again, rolling out programs, no discussion. I mean, that erodes trust on every level.
It hasn't been a good year for Seattle police when it comes to security cameras.
Okay, taking off.
The mayor shelved SPD's plan for unmanned drones with cameras last month after tons of negative public response. Now, Mike McGinn is asking questions about the waterfront cameras too.
Where should the cameras be located? How should they be operated? And those are all important questions that have to be thoroughly discussed and vetted with the public before any operational decision is made.
Police point out they started the process 4 years ago with City Council approval to install these cameras as part of what's called a port security mesh network.
These are not cameras that look into people's living rooms.
Deputy Chief Clark KIMERER admits there could have been more public outreach about this project.
Mea culpa, we can always be better.
But, he says, with a port that's been named as a top target for terrorism, security measures like cameras are a must-have.
I am convinced that this is a system, A, we need, B, that has substantial safeguards, particularly in the area of privacy.
One of those safeguards is masking, which blocks off windows of offices or potentially homes, as seen with this Columbia building camera.
I'm not sure that's sufficient.
Council member Bruce Harrell, who chairs the Public Safety Committee, says a comprehensive law is needed to cover cameras like these, used by any city department.
You have to do the policy framework before you use this kind of surveillance equipment. It raises too many privacy issues.
But what right to privacy do we really have with a camera that's set up in a public place? It turns out you don't have much legal protection at all.
Some states do have laws in place that prohibit or limit the way in which cameras can be used for public surveillance. Washington State, I'm sorry to say, is not one of them.
ANITA RAMASASTRY teaches law at the University of Washington and says these cameras aren't illegal if they don't zoom into your bathroom, for example.
So if they're cameras that capture you while you happen to be walking or doing whatever, well, it's fair game.
And cameras are everywhere, too. Seattle police say a group of cameras on some private buildings down in Chinatown helped nab 6 suspects in the past few months.
I'm not choking you, I'm getting your head away from me.
And it's a two-way street. Dash cams are keeping an eye on officers, too. But cameras right outside your home? That's a different story.
It's creepier because we know that it's the police and law enforcement, but it's just who has that information that worries us.
That said, Professor Ramasastry says police need to find a balance between providing security and easing the concerns of a public that wants its privacy.
The police have to figure out how to sort of respect them, keep the cameras not aimed at their apartments, and keep it aimed at places that truly are where they feel there's going to potentially be a security risk.
If the cameras remain at Alki, Will Washington is leaving.
I do plan on moving if the cameras stay up.
That's how strongly he feels about drawing a line in the sand.
If we allow this sort of thing to continue, at what point are we under complete surveillance?